What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. It's me, the middle guy, here with
the left guy.
And
the right guy.
the right guy. Welcome. Joke, punchline.
Haha, laugh track.
Laugh track.
This is
track.
Death Note.
This is our script every time we react.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Sam.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Will.
And
we are Working Title.
Did you write down Sam's name, dude?
Guys, we are
He's
back. It is Death Note. Episode 3, Dealings. Last on.
Hold on.
Okay. Last on, L, the best detective who ever was, is on the case. Light has, heard of this and tried to off L himself, and it didn't work. L had played him like a fiddle, and now we're here.
So guys, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for more Death Note. You can also get early access if you go over to our Patreon and get 1 to 2 week early access that we have available for you. You can also just be a sponsor. We would appreciate that. We've had a lot of help recently, and we give thanks to you guys for doing that. Also, go check out this show. We don't own it. Go check it on Netflix or any other streaming service you can find it on, and then come back and watch your boys. We're gonna punch it.
The story of Light.
The Yagami lore. I am God. Why did you laugh this time?
You can't laugh.
Neither of us were even close to laughing.
I would not laugh, but now because you guys call him a specimen or a creature,
A bone
it's
marrow
just how I
baby.
see him.
He is.
You guys hate how I see things.
He is
for
a
your
lab
memes.
child.
He literally looks like he was made in a test tube.
He's a petri dish boy.
He might be a chimera. He looks like one.
He is the real sloth. That's how I imagine Sam wakes up in the morning.
No, I wake up screaming.
No, evil. You bastard.
Try to kill me.
I am justice. I protect the innocent and those who fear evil. I'm the one who become the god of a new world that everyone desires. Kira, I will hunt you down where
I like
you're
El's
hiding, and
voice.
I will eliminate you. I am justice.
Dealings.
Up to this point, we've received 3,029 responses about the murders via telephone and email. Most of these have been curious citizens and prank calls, but there are 14 people who claim to either know Kira or who have seen him. And lastly, this week there were an additional 21 people who called in claiming to be Kira.
Nice.
Surprise.
Also, concerning L's request that we investigate the time of death for each victim, we found that all of them occurred between the hours of 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. on weekdays, local time, with 68% of them occurring between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m.
That
Interesting.
information is extremely relevant for us. It suggests that given the times of death, our suspect could very well be a student.
Damn.
Based on the fact that Kira's only killing criminals, I think it's safe to assume that he's driven by a very idealistic notion of justice. It's highly possible he may even aspire to be some sort of godlike figure. We're dealing with an individual who has a very childish concept of right and wrong.
Wow.
Please continue with your report.
I love that how quickly he's deduced this.
Oh, right.
He's the craziest
Does anyone
crime
else have
pathologist I've
something
ever
to
heard.
Well, I'm not saying this to support Kira or to condone the murders, but in the last few days throughout the world, but especially here in Japan, we've observed a dramatic decrease in the number of violent crimes committed.
Shit.
Well, I suppose it makes sense. We've suspected something like that would happen. Anything else?
No.
FYI, I really fucks with him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's support the cause.
You're doing God's work for real.
I would like you to go back and take a closer look at the exact way in which the victims' identities were made public. Be as thorough as possible.
In particular, I want to know if photos of the victims were made available to the public in Japan.
I'll leave it to you.
You look like you could use one of these. Sleeping much?
Ah, thank you. That'll do the trick. I feel all these late nights are starting to take their toll.
Anime Gordon.
Yes.
I knew I could count on you, Light.
Hey, so do you think you're ready to try a few on your own now?
Huh? Yeah, I guess so.
Bro's a certified chiller.
Oh,
I didn't know you were
How's it
chill
go?
like
I don't know you're chill like that, Ryuk.
Thank you.
Yep, I
he's
knew it.
home really early today.
It was Dad. I
Why don't you
knew
at
it.
least try the last problem by
I
yourself?
knew it. I knew it was gonna be his dad.
Inspector Dad.
Helping your sister with her homework, you sure are relaxed.
Of course. If the police try to come after me, I'm pretty confident I've got something that'll give me the advantage.
The knowledge.
Hey, glad you could join us for dinner. You hungry, Dad?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Damn, he could just leech the info from his father. Because why would you not say something to your
So,
son?
Light,
Yeah.
tell me how are your studies going?
I see.
Wow.
Well, Daddy's a policeman. And that must be the reason why you're so confident.
That's right. It's easy for me to hack into Dad's computer. We're on a home network, so I can copy the files I need without leaving a trace. This way I can keep track of their investigation.
Why does he know how to do fucking everything?
Because he's a genius.
And this isn't red flags for his parents being like, oh, our kid's a computer hacker.
They wouldn't know.
He's doing a bunch of weird. He can make bombs.
He's
He's just a fucking freak.
Looks like the
He's a
police are already
sociopath.
beginning to suspect a student.
I guess that means you're in trouble.
Our son's really good with explosives and hacking. I wonder if something's wrong with him.
If the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen.
You're gonna make him
If
more
the cause of death
specific.
is not specified, the person will simply die of a heart attack.
So what's your point?
In other words, if I write heart attack as the cause of death, then I should be able to write down all the details, including time of death afterwards, shouldn't I?
Yep.
Looks like I'll be able to provide you with more entertainment now.
So yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna be able to keep killing them the same exact way every time.
Get a
He's
little-
gonna have to switch it up.
Get a little creative.
Skateboard incident would be my first kill.
Sick. He's like, yes, this is the time of day it should happen.
I love that he did like a head kick with the ball. He just stood there. What?
That's hard.
A truly crazy man.
The day before, there were another 23 victims. He's killing one off every hour on the hour.
It does appear less likely now that Kira is a student, but that's not the message he's sending by doing this. Ask yourselves why every hour. I believe Kira is telling us that not only can he kill from a distance, but he can also determine the time of death.
This is it. This is it. This is it. This is the theme.
To suspect that Kira might be a student, the pacing of the killings changed, as if to contradict that theory. Coincidence? No. Too convenient. This can only mean that Kira has access to police information.
Oh my God, he snuffed that one out too.
This is a direct challenge to me.
Where is he?
He's in the Rubik's
Sweating
Cube.
right now.
Can't even say that
Really
word.
make his job is that I've deliberately left about 50 criminals alive for times like this.
Oh, showing them you have connections to the police makes it easier for them to find you than when they just suspected you were a student.
Well, my real agenda is to get close to Al so I can eliminate him.
Oh, that's so smart too.
You still don't understand human beings. In this world, there are very few people who actually trust each other. And it's no different for the police, you know. What's especially important is that Elle and the investigators don't trust each other at all. Think about it.
Deception
Could you
in the
trust someone
ranks.
whose name and face you don't even know?
No.
On the surface, it will appear that Elle and the investigation team are working together to try to catch me. But in reality, Elle will investigate the police, and they will be investigating Elle.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who's going to find Elle.
There.
I can let the police do that for me.
Sons of bitches.
And when they do, that's when I'll
Genius.
eliminate
His
him.
eyes are red.
Yeah. Okay, they are
Yeah,
red now.
yeah.
All right.
It's crazy how fast these two are.
I love that. Whoa. Okay, that was just like a one. Okay, cool. Nice.
What's this about?
Whoa.
With all due respect, Chief, we're resigning.
Oh,
We demand
what is that?
you assign us to a different case.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, we can have our badges right here and now.
Why? You're good cops.
Isn't it clear? It's because we value our lives, sir. We all sat here and watched when L decided to pull that media stunt and challenged Kira to kill him. Well, it was all very impressive at the time. But then again, L never had to show his face or reveal his name, for that matter. I'm sure you recall L's last request.
Yeah.
Unlike some of you know, we're out there investigating this case wearing police IDs with our names and photos on them. Anybody with a computer can find out who we are. We don't hide our faces, we're out in the open. For these reasons, we refuse to continue working this case. Excuse us, Chief.
It's on the floor?
In order to solve this problem, we must establish
Bro.
the concept that
Why?
I'm so bored.
Light, you got a second?
I already told you you can't talk to me in public. How many times do I have to tell you?
In that case, I'll talk, you just listen. If you don't want to hear me, you can plug your ears or something. First of all, I don't have anything against you. I actually think the notebook couldn't have been picked up by a better person.
Nice.
I'm here because I have to stick around till the death note is finished, or I see you die, whichever comes first.
What's this about, Ryuk? Why are you telling me all this stuff now anyway? It's really not like you.
It's just that I'm no ally of yours, or Kira's if you prefer. The only reason I'm gonna tell you this is because personally it's starting to creep me out.
Get to the point already.
You're being followed by another human. He's watching you right now.
Oh shit.
Walk towards him.
Turn around
Start
and fight.
sprinting.
Intrusive
Go
thought, sprint at him.
It's really starting to get on
Dude,
my
I would do
nerves.
that.
Just
Get out, right. Get out, run.
See me.
Scare the
Take a
crap
hard
out of
right
me.
and just sprint down the
Behind
street.
you wherever you go. I feel like I'm constantly being watched.
That's a problem. I'll have to get rid of him as soon as possible.
Figure out who that is. That might be the
following me.
other faces, man.
Does this mean Ella's already starting to suspect the police?
Light. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. What makes a Shinigami and a human who has a death note different? Well, there are two things. It's because we are able to take human lifespans for ourselves.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean by that?
Let's say you have a human who is due to live until the age of 60, and a god of death wrote that this person would die at 40. 60 minus 40 equals 20. Now those 20 years taken from someone in the human world are added to that god of death's life. On the other hand, no matter how many names you write in your death note, your lifespan will not increase.
That's something about Shinigami that I haven't heard before. Pretty interesting stuff.
The second difference between us will probably be of even greater interest to you.
Oh boy.
Though this has less to do with lengthening life and more to do with cutting it short.
What do you mean cutting it short?
Shinigami can tell what a person's name is by just looking at their face. We know instantly.
Yeah.
And do you have any idea why? Because through a Shinigami's eyes, a human's name can be seen above their head. Not only that, we see their lifespan as well.
It's a video game.
Their name and lifespan?
That's right. I'm able to see your name and lifespan right now. If I converted that to human time, I could tell you how many years you've got left. But there's no way I'd ever tell you that. Our eyes just aren't the same, and that is the difference between you and I. However, if a Shinigami drops his death note and a human picks it up, he can grant that human the eyes of a Shinigami.
That's why his eyes are turning red! That's why they're turning red!
It's been with us since ancient times.
And what's the deal?
The price for having a Shinigami's eyes is half of that person's remaining lifespan. That's all it is. In other words, if you were supposed to live another 50 years, you'd be 25.
Creepy ass
If it was
music.
one more year, then 6 months.
You're saying that I can't simply borrow your powers. I'd have to pay for them.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a key part of the code that all Shinigami are bound by.
Equivalent exchange, Will.
I'll say this once more.
Give me half your remaining lifespan, and I'll give you the Shinigami eyes. If I agree, I'll be able to know everyone's name just by looking at them.
Yep.
If I had that power, the Death Note would only be easier to use. So, what'll it be, Light? Is it a deal?
I love this.
I love this so
He's just
much.
standing there.
Menace.
Menacingly.
Ah,
Damn.
you know what was so funny too is right before he said that, when they were sitting there talking before they got to the eye conversation, when he was saying the difference between them, I had two thoughts. Of what if at the end of the series that Light could become a Shinigami.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be something that would be interesting too. And then the second thing was his eyes and the reason why I thought this was because I was like, his eyes keep turning red. What if he is, because of how many people he's killing, he is slowly turning into a god of death?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, let me see Ryuk's eyes. And right as they panned back up, that's when he was saying the whole eye thing. And I was like, oh, dang it! That's it right there.
Damn.
Bill, you might be onto something.
Okay.
To be fair, with
Theory, man.
with Ryuk's words, he says the only thing that's different between us is my eye power. So your idea of him becoming a god of death isn't
It's not
inaccurate.
out of the realm of possibility currently.
And even if physically he doesn't look like one, by all means he is a god of death.
At this point, currently, yeah.
All right, that was episode 3, y'all. That was episode 3.
It's only... Okay, I'm done saying that after this episode, but it's
It
only
feels
3
like-
episodes.
It feels like it's been 20.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
The emotional weight just keeps getting heavier every episode, and we've only seen 3. That's wild, dude.
What the fuck are they gonna do for another 20 episodes? Or
Yeah, like
whatever
he
it is?
already has he's maxing out his powers immediately.
And they've also almost pinned Light into a corner.
They already have FBI agents following him home. Maybe only because his dad is in the police force, but still.
Well, they narrowed it down to 121 people that have access to the information that Light has access to.
And all the people that are related to them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really good when it comes to shows and being able to like pinpoint at least one thing that happens each episode in almost all the shows I watch. This is the only show I've never been able to be like, oh yes, episode 4 when XYZ happens.
Yeah.
I've been confused. Honestly, I thought the father reveal was episode 2. I didn't know that you get to even see L in his little computer room until far later, and here it is. I think you saw him last episode too.
We saw like his chin. That was
Yeah.
really it. The mouth and chin.
And
Why
just
is it's on the floor. He's just so psychotic.
and the amount that's getting divulged, I'm like, oh, this happens now. And then you guys are over here like trying to figure out what's gonna happen. I'm over here trying to figure out the same damn thing. I'm like, I thought these things did not happen yet. And
We're gonna find out that Sam only watched 5 episodes of the show, but he thought he watched
No.
like 30.
I got to episode 29, and then I don't remember I didn't get far in my second watch through. So some of it is definitely like choppy for me, which will be fun watching with you guys. But,
Yeah.
oh man, is it still it's whiplash to watch.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think one of the craziest things, and I guess this is kind of where I'm thinking, is I feel like that L... We need to get to know L to figure this one out, really. But I feel like the reason why L is deducing all this so quickly is that he, in a sense, relates to Light in a lot of ways, or Kira. Because, like, the whole, like, you know, at the end of last episode, which they played at the beginning of this one with the recap of, like, I am justice. Like, they both feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because they're both kind of doing the same thing. Like, L is, like, the king of figuring out who the murderer is and catching the bad guy. And Light is kind of doing the same thing, but he's killing them, and he doesn't have to do as much. He's doing it for people that have, like, already been caught committing crimes, for the most part.
Yeah.
So, or at least are already known. But they're both kind of playing in that same ballpark, so it's almost like, if I was, like... Either L and Kira are on, like, the same wavelength, kind of, except he's not, like, a murderer. Or he's like, okay, this would be me if I was going way too far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was taking this, like, justice thing to new heights, I would be doing exactly what he's doing. So he already knows, like, how to work his mind.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't want to
You don't have to say.
No. Well, I was gonna say you brought up Commissioner Gordon today, and I don't want to give the image in your head so that you're only thinking this when you're watching it. But even what you're saying now is just paralleling stories I've heard from you or other people about like the Batman stories of like one bad day is all it takes to be me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the difference between Batman and the Joker's
that's
similar
very
qualities.
It's very
That's
very
the
slim.
Yeah, it's the Joker's whole mantra for a lot of comics is that exact line.
And then you got the Commissioner Gordon, the police chief, who's way over his head, dealing with things that are hard to tackle, but he's going to be the front runner that has to face a lot of the brunt force. You got your L, which you could kind of argue is, I mean, we will have to get to learn him, but like he's a guy shrouded with another man present in front of him, kind of like a Alfred, except Alfred doesn't like go out there to like be in front of people.
Yeah.
But you got that kind of like difference. Batman has his mask. People will never have to wonder who a police is that shows up on the job because they got their name signed up. Where I think they do that in the Dark Knight movie, where like the Batman gets the privilege of always being concealed, which is why a lot of people have discrepancies with him.
Yeah. Well, that was a thing in The Dark Knight Rises when the police were being like hunted.
Yeah.
And the one guy, when fucking Robin, essentially, when he goes to like that one like high-ranking officer's house, he's like, "Bro, help me." He's like, "Bro, I do not want to be seen with you. I don't care that I'm like a top chief police officer. Like, leave me alone." You know.
Yeah. Even the scene where it looked like it was somebody's boobs, but it was the guy with his chest convulsing, reminded me of when the Joker puts that thing in that guy's chest and he's just like bending over because his body hurts so much. I don't know, just weird. I was getting weird images, but you just bringing that up made me think of like how this does kind of remind me of a
Batman type of
that
series,
that kind of like detective vigilante type of show that you get. So the police are backing out. The police are backing out, resigning, because of what we were just talking about.
Understandable move.
Yeah.
They don't want themselves or their families to die as soon as Kira hears their names and any connections they had with the investigation.
Yeah. Yeah, because like even though Kira's supposed to only kill the bad guys, he went out of his way to kill a detective one time.
Yeah, as soon as he challenged him.
As soon as he challenged him, so they are all, rightfully so afraid.
Yeah.
And that they've even earlier in the episode before that too, they had determined, or Elle had determined that it was probably a student based on the hours and when they did this, excluding holidays, which is when they would be off anyways. And then he asked of the police to look into how soon and what was pictures of all these people with their names, all the criminals available. And once the police figured that out, that's when they were like, yeah, no, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, Light got a little more creative, with his killing, setting them up for times instead of just having to do it immediately and then waiting 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So it kind of is throwing off the trail a little bit, but he's only done it for 2 days so far.
Just kicking his soccer ball and woohoo!
Yeah. Head pass into a goal while he just stands there yeah.
Yeah. I did it.
I passed that because I hit my head with ball.
And Light is also stealing the information from his father's computer.
Yeah, Will, you were right. You son of a gun, you saw the Yagami name.
I was like, wait a minute.
Son of a bitch.
I was like, that's gotta be related. Sam was like, I don't know, it could be just a common name. I was like, if it is, the show fucking sucks. Yeah. If it's not, the show's awesome.
There can't be 6 George Smiths in the same show.
When you said that, I didn't even see the Yagami name, so when you said that, I was like, this son of a bitch, where did he see that? Damn it! This episode should not have shown that. But you were spot on, which will be a fun dynamic because, Gordon, Mr. Yagami, is very tired on his long nights, so he's not thinking too heavily when he's at home, of all places.
Well,
who's going to suspect their son?
And his son's a golden boy, too.
Yeah,
his son,
student.
His son, and
this mom and sister kiss up to him.
Yeah, and naively, or however you pronounce that word, but like, people normally are like, oh, serial killer, it's gotta be the delinquent kid that skips class and is drinking on the weekends.
Yeah.
No one's gonna suspect the smart, genius kid, which in reality, like, that would be your number one serial suspect.
Yes.
Because he's smart enough to figure it out. Like,
Caleb, I love
He's fucking hacking computers, creating nuclear bombs,
Yeah.
hiding in crack houses to make bombs. I'm like, bro, what does this kid do?
In all fairness,
Before he
at least-
decided to become Kira, what did he do after school?
He was very bored. That's what he was. He didn't do any of this, so this is all like fun to him now. He gets to utilize all the things he's learned in school, like making nuclear
Also, does he have
bombs.
friends? Like, does he hang out with anyone?
no. Well, he blew off
yeah.
that one kid.
Yeah.
That one kid asked to hang out, and he blew him off in the last episode.
All we've seen is that girls look at him when he leaves school. He pays it no mind, and he pays it no mind when his friends want to hang out. Supposedly friends. We don't really know yet.
Yeah.
It's one of those early things that we may or may not get to really explore. Yeah, but I mean, you're right. Who's gonna suspect the star-studded kid who's like, supposedly good-looking? People want his attention. People only see him in a good light.
Yeah.
But it seems like only someone like Elle would really understand the kind of like chaos that can go in the mind of somebody that might not display it openly.
Yeah.
Because I know we have seen Elle in critter fashion in the intros, but he doesn't seem like a psycho physically. He doesn't look like some like weird. Other than the fact that he's in a cubicle box.
The room he's in looks like one in like a nut house.
Yeah.
He's literally sitting on like imagine this room without this rug we have underneath of us, and you're just sitting here alone with all the lights off in pitch black with a computer in the middle of the room. Like, that is a little psycho behavior.
Yeah. I was gonna say the one thing that was a little weird is when you guys brought up that it's on the floor, it reminded me of like when you see like those TikToks of girls that say red flags, and it's like when you have a bed in your house
floor.
and an Xbox, and that's it. You don't even have like
Furniture.
It's a lawn chair, an Xbox, and a flat screen TV mounted against the wall barely.
Like when you don't have your priorities in check. Like Elle's priorities, like computer. I don't even need to sleep.
Yeah, I'll sleep on the ground.
So I'll take that back. He's a little bit of an oddity. What we also, very briefly, one of the cops also brought up, like, hey, I know it's kind of like we don't want to talk about it, but also, like, the crime rate has gone down.
Yeah.
It's working, unfortunately. Whatever Kira is doing is
not to
working.
support him, but crime is down a whole shit ton.
Which, like, of course, when a man can kill, seemingly without any form of, like, actually doing it, just at will, who's going to want to commit the next crime?
Yeah.
And not to jump to a different show completely, and kind of a spoiler for Game of Thrones Season 2, it reminds me of, like, when Bronn is in charge of King's Landing, and there's, like, no crime, and Tyrion goes, what have you done? Well, I've gathered all the rapists, murderers, and thieves, and either killed them or put them in jail. Every single one I ever know. And I'm not letting them back out. And even the ones that were sus, not even doing anything, and well, there's no crime.
Kind of like Damon.
Yeah, like Damon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Damon. So yes, the injustice forms of committing justice seemingly work. So we'll have to see how that plays out, because we have seen like the opinions of the people start to come into the show within the second episode.
Yes.
We also have a sneak. A creeper is walking around.
FBI informant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Elle has enlisted the help of the FBI to investigate the police force. The 121 people that have the access to this classified police information on who and what, and the criminals that are active in Japan and in this city area. So an FBI guy is tailing Light, and Ryuk informs him that he is tailing them. And so Light is now, didn't seem worried, but he's like, wow, Elle is like caught on to like the whole police being involved quicker.
Yeah.
And that he's basically got to figure out who this guy is that's following him, because if he keeps this up, he's gonna get caught eventually. Like if he's being watched 24/7.
Yeah. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? If I figure out who it is, like if I kill him,
That's gonna give it.
Everyone's gonna be like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's the guy following Yagami's
Yeah.
kid just got killed."
So like, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah,
Do
he
you
would have to. I mean, to me, if I was, this is really fucked up. If I was him, I would try and figure out like all of the FBI agents that are around here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and once you identify all of them, then just kill them all off like one day at a time.
Yeah.
And start and put yourself in the middle, like put the one that's following you in the middle. So kill like numbers 1 through 50 on the first couple days, then the middle days 51 through 70 something, and then the last day kill the rest of them.
And even that could be seen as sus because it's like, okay, well then it's definitely somebody that's connected to the chief of somebody in the police, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't even know how.
Well, no, but he wants that because Light said he wants to meet because he needs to meet L and see him in person so he knows he can kill him.
Yeah.
And also dismantle the trust between L and the whole police force.
Yeah, that causes the investigation to stumble too.
Yeah.
So the other good thing too is we learned about the eyes finally. So Ryuk explained the difference between a Shinigami and a human.
Yeah.
And a Shinigami earns lives or earns years off the lives of humans that he has killed if they're supposed to live longer.
Yeah.
And humans can't do that. He just kills, and then there's a set date that he's supposed to die. And that the Shinigami's eyes can look at someone and automatically see their name and how long they're supposed to live.
Just like a video game.
Just like a video game.
You can see the stats and all.
And so now he is given Light the opportunity to trade half of his remaining years left on this earth to get those eyes.
Yeah. Light got stuck with the Shinigami that wants to make things a little bit more entertaining for him.
He's supposed to have fun.
He's not going to give it away so quickly, despite being the loudmouth he claims to be.
Well, I just think it's funny because I'd be curious as to dude, how funny it would be if he traded his eyes and then it was could he look in the mirror and see his own remaining days and then be like, oh shit, I only have a week to live.
Yeah.
I have 6 hours. Fuck.
That's the fear. I mean, in my mind, it'd be more happy or optimistic to be like, okay, I got 20 years to live. At least I have 10 now. But the analogy was, say you got 12 months, now you got 6.
Yeah.
Just damn, I guess that's true. The morbid form of how life comes. I could die tomorrow, technically. Now I only have half the day.
No, I have 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, so just what do you think will be done with that? Do you think that's something Light will consider? Do you think he'll do it right away? Something maybe long term?
Well, the way he was talking, it sounded like he was going to do that immediately. So, and he's on the hinge. He wants to, and he, we were talking about, he's been playing this game he wants to win it tomorrow and become the god of this world. He's not wasting any time.
Yeah.
So, at minimum, I feel like he's going to feel well, now I have even more, the pressure on my back to do this.
Yeah.
Because I know now I have half the time that I was supposed to.
Yeah. Now that we've seen the intro a couple more times, is there anything else that you've gotten to gander at that you might be curious to come into the story, just like how all anime kind of teases things that you might be able to expect in the future?
Yeah. I honestly today and the last time we watched, I didn't pay super close attention, so I definitely need to for the next time.
Okay.
But I do think it is interesting where Light places himself a lot of the times in the religious imagery, and also what about this girl that seems to have some importance that reappears in the trailer a lot, and that he's as Caleb said, his unspoken riz of trying to pull her in.
You are girl, I am boy.
Yeah, and it seems like there is. There's kind of the checkerboard, which is clearly the analogy of L and Light combating each other in their strategic, game of the minds that they're playing. But I'd just be curious. I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to see some more things, but I just wonder where this story is going to play. Are there multiple intros for the show?
There's only one other one that we're gonna get.
Okay.
But that's not for a little while.
Yeah. I'd just be curious, like, where, because he seems like he places himself in the savior role and God role a lot, which is something we already know. He's got that God complex. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cryptic.
Yeah, I want to watch it again and like actually pay attention, not just laugh at the fucking L.
We didn't laugh this time though.
No, I know this time.
I did.
He was like, "It's your guy's fault."
It is your guy's fault. I didn't laugh at him when
I blame you.
watched this show.
It's all your fault, man.
Me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you, man.
It's because I'm just so darn silly.
You're so funny.
You're so silly. I really want to know what Light's fate is. A fate worse than heaven or hell. I want to know what that means.
Yeah, well.
And now I really feel like it's going to be him living as a Shinigami, or Shinigami, whatever, man. Don't make fun of me.
A Shinigami.
Whatever he is, a god of death, I think that he is going to be like doomed to walk that life forever.
Yeah.
What if the real reason that Ryuk is doing this too is instead of doing this for fun, it's really like if you can get someone to follow through to like whatever the end is or like meet some check marks, he can like have him replaced. You know what I mean? Like, so if it's like he becomes a Shinigami, then he can take Ryuk's spot and Ryuk can finally pass on to the other side.
I was going to ask that because, one, I have not finished the show. I don't know the trajectory of where many things could head, but I'd be curious because he mentioned, like, and you could correct me on this because they list out a lot of things as we continue in the show. He mentioned that we have to stay on it as Shinigami to make sure we take lives so that, because that's how we gain lives. We can't gain life anymore unless we take from others.
Yeah.
So it's like technically our little job, and if we don't keep up with it, he made it seem like I will pass away. So I wonder if the Shinigami realm seems so boring to these guys that they don't know what to do with their time.
Because they probably killed so many people that they're just living forever anyways.
Then I guess that's what it is, because it's like, then I would stop killing people and see what comes next for me, and then if there's even a possible thing after.
But that's the thing, though. They probably have killed so many.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more people like dead in the world, dead that have lived on the planet now than are on the planet now actively. So if a god of death has been existing since the beginning of time and has been killing humans that whole time, you know what I mean? It's like, and think about like, this is messed up. Like, think about like people that die at birth, like infants. If they were slated to live to 40 years old or 50 years old, you know what I mean? It's like, you just kill two of those things and you're getting 100 years on your life. And how many times over? Don't laugh.
You said those things, dude.
Infants, whatever, babies.
Kill those little fuckers.
I mean, whatever, man.
Yeah.
They don't even get a chance to like be a person at that point. But you're taking their whole life away and adding it to your own.
That's
so,
crazy. Yeah.
like, you know, it wouldn't take long. This is really messed up. But like one mass killing incident, in whatever capacity that is, that would be enough for these guys to, you know, like live forever.
Then it really is a weird purgatory in which they keep killing so that they can play chess for a bit.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only 3 episodes in.
God.
I can't believe it.
Only 3.
Why is this the fastest moving thing I've ever watched?
Yeah, it's a literal roller coaster. Any last thoughts? Guys, if you made it to this point, make sure you leave a like. Show your support by also subscribing if you don't mind, so that you can stay around for when we jump into the next episode and the one after that. You can also jump into that right now if you go over to Patreon, check out the Working Title crew. But for now, we'll have to catch you in episode 4, guys. Punch it!
Bow!